Hey, good day, citrus and containers. Let's talk about tip pruning. Here we go. Let's get some. Hey, y'all. Today, let's talk about tip pruning. This video was actually brought by a comment from one of our subscribers, Michael Vincent. He wanted to know about tip pruning and getting his tree to bush out more and to be able to be more full and beautiful. So here's my variegated pink Eureka lemon. I tip pruned this probably back in June and thereabouts or so. And so I want to show you what's happened since then, and then we're going to get some cuts on. So back in June, where was it at? I was just looking at this tree not too long ago that I tip pruned. I tip pruned it right about there. You can see where I made the cut, which I should probably clean up. But you can see right here how it started putting shoots off going out, and it still wants to put up more leaves right here. So let's get some prune on. Let's back up a little bit and show you. This variegated pink Eureka lemon is looking beautiful. About 2 years ago, it looked like that, maybe a little smaller. And through good pruning and obviously fertilization, I just did a video on that. It's been bushing out beautifully, but you know what? It still needs to bush out a little bit more. It's at the correct height I want it at now, so we're going to take the top off here. Let's get on here. You see these leaves? It's a little droopy. It's hot right now in Texas, so where do I want to tip prune it? I want to bring it down to be about even with this branch, so it puts it about here. You want to make sure when you do your cut that you get the right node. If I cut it here, the branch is going to want to grow out this way. So with that being said, if I'm looking down out here, this leaf here is probably the best spot. Nope, it wants to grow towards me. I want it to grow out. So here is going to be the better of the cuts. So I'm going to get down in there with my pruners, 45-degree cut, and give it a whack. Oh, that was kind of not a good cut. I think I might need to get some new pruners here soon. Oh, that was horrible. Let's take it down a little further, which is okay with me. Get in there. There we go. Now we got a good cut. Since we cut this one back, we want to keep the tree in balance. This is how I am. And see how this one's going out this way or this way. Now let's bring it down here. This is more of a growth ring. You see several. Actually, you can see where I cut it before where it grew out and it grew up, but we want it to grow out. So let's go. Shoot. Yeah. Right here looks good. You want to be careful when you cut. You want to cut at a 45-degree angle so that the water runs off. There we go. This branch over here is kind of wonky. Let's back up a little bit. See how it's growing up? It's nice and strong, but then this branch wants to curve in. I want the branches to curve out. As I'm looking, I see some nice growth right here trying to grow. Let's get in there a little bit. The new growth is right there. So you want to leave that branch alone. So I'm just going to go ahead and lop this vertical branch off right about there. And I'm looking at it. It's growing up and it's bending. We're just going to monitor that and see how it's going. The reason we want to tip prune because it takes the branch and it tells it to start bushing out and growing on other nodes. And this one's doing fantastic, but I want it to bush out a little bit more. So I'm just going to go indiscriminately, look at my nodes and see which way the direction is going to go. And this one here, let me cut it right here because the leaves are facing out. And while I'm here, I'm just kind of trimming off the ugly. Walk around a little bit more. You can see where I did a tip prune here, where the cut was. And the branch is growing out. That's exactly what I want. Walk around the tree a little bit. We're gonna get in the shade, so I might lose it a little bit. See, I did a tip prune here. And the branch is growing out, and there's actually some fruit growing, so I'm gonna leave that one alone. Open up the canopy so it's airy. So let's go on the other side. And here we go. This branch is going good. It's bushing. This branch is coming out from where I cut it before down here. It's going out the proper direction. So I think I'm going to call this one good at the moment. Let's walk over to my 5-in-1 mandan tree. This one is going ballistic. It's growing crazy. My Migniola graft is going good, but except for it's growing up and I want it to bush out a little bit more. So I pruned down here a while ago. See how it forked off and it's doing great? That's what you want. I want it to bush again. So let's get a side view better here. So let's bend this one branch down. I gotta make sure I do the proper cut. I know it's growing out here where I tip pruned it before, but I want to bring it down. So we're gonna bring it down here, and this leaf is coming out this direction, so that's the direction I want it to be growing. This one here, same thing. I want to bring it down. I don't want to cut at this node because it's going to grow across the tree. I want it to grow out towards the tree. So I'm going to cut it right above that node. And I'm just going to rinse and repeat. Like here I did a prune not too long ago, and it's growing up, and I want to stop the tickable dominance because I like where the tree's at. So I'm just going to take it off a little bit to say no more growing up top, grow out. This tree I've done lots and lots of tip pruning. So you can see how it's bushed out. There's all satsumas on here, and that tree naturally has a weeping way it wants to grow, but it's doing really good. Yeah, you see some leaves that are kind of ugly because I had some new growth and it got 100 degrees and I haven't sprayed my IV organics on it to help protect the leaves. So I'm looking around, it's looking pretty darn good now. All that beautiful fruit on there, it's going crazy. So here I'm just going to bring this branch back to get it in balance a little bit more. I'll prune some of these other branches after I harvest the fruit in the winter and going into the spring. So far this is good. My variegated Migniola, my variegated Calamandan, I've pruned this so many times. See how bushy it is? It's loving it. Let's just walk down the thing and get to my orange frost. I showed this last year in one of my videos. It's looking kind of haggard, don't get me wrong. The good old Texas heat's wreaking a little havoc on it. It's bushy. It's a satsuma, so you see how it weeps, but I can still make it get a little fuller. I can just come down, look at my nodes and figure out which way I want to cut it. And I've cut it once, but I want to cut it again. So I'm going to bring it down to approximately right here and give it a trim. Up top, I'll leave this fruit alone. Yeah, I'll leave this fruit alone at the time. I don't need it to grow any taller because it's already a pretty tall tree, but I'm going to cut it to where it's going to grow out towards me. This branch here, I want it to grow towards the fence. So I'm going to find a leaf node. Shoot. Let's just give it a whack right here and see what happens. When you tip prune, it's kind of forgiving because you're only taking off the tips. You're not going to the main structure of the plant. So here, I tip pruned this one. It's growing properly, but it's still, yeah, that's in a good direction. And later I'll pull out the tree and get the backside a little better because I like to go all the way around, take my tree in balance. Now let's move over to my Cara Cara and give us a prune. So I'm gonna let you take a look at it for a second, and I want you to think of where we should tip prune this bad boy at. Kind of walking around it a little bit. I've got some nice explosive growth underneath. Let's go to the back side a little bit, see how it's not having a lot of growth on the other side. So let's take a moment and think where I should tip prune this. I'll give you a moment to take a look as I walk around. As you're thinking about where I should tip prune, I'm going to go ahead and cut off those dead branches. Sometimes it just happens. Remember, I've been super hot. So this is a dead branch right here. So I'm going to cut it flush as possible and remove it. As I'm looking around, I notice there's one more dead branch right here. That's been removed. This is my daughter's Cara Cara, so she lets me do pretty much whatever I want to it. She'll prune it every once in a while, but school started, but we need to get it done. Another reason why I like to tip prune towards the end of summer, it gives it all fall for new growth to start hardening off. All right, here we go. Got one fruit there. I'm gonna leave it alone, except for I really don't like how this branch is coming down. I would probably cut that back, but since it has a fruit on it for my daughter, I'm gonna leave it alone. So this branch here, I want to fill out just a little bit more. It's split off from the last time I pruned it. Down here, it grew, it forked. So I'm just gonna go and just take, literally on this one, just take the tips off. On the inside here, I'm gonna tip prune this one. It's almost as tall as I want. It's a little bit taller than my variegated pink Eureka, but I need to keep all the possible leaves. Go to the back side. I'm just gonna go ahead and take the tip off here and get in there. Take that tip off. We're just taking the tips off on this. All this side looks pretty good. Oh, no little dead branches. Let's get rid of those bad boys. They may be little, but we're gonna get rid of them anyways. It just rained. It's kind of weird. It woke me up. So the bottom, since I've been pruning, has been growing these branches out, which is phenomenal because I want it to bush, but yet I want it to get even fuller. So this one's coming out in the proper direction. It's looking really good. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take the tip off to make it bush out more. Oh, I got two oranges. I didn't realize I had two Cara Caras going on. This branch here is coming out from the bottom. It's being really aggressive, but I want it to bush. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that tip off. Here's more baby branches. This one has only one leaf. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna take this tip off. Let's walk to the other side. Tip this one. I want that one to bush out. It's coming off the new one. Hey, there's a swallow-tailed butterfly larva right there, so I might leave that one there. They eat your leaves, don't get me wrong, but overall they don't cause a lot of damage. So this is looking like this is going to be a good satisfactory tip pruning for right now. Well, let's go look at the top. If we're going to tip it, let's tip it all the way. So tip. Just going to take the tip off here. And you can see where I tip pruned before right here. Got some more going up, which is okay, but got this one growing to the inside. Want to remove that. And there we go. So what I'll do later towards the fall, I'll do a follow-up tip prune on this one so you can see how it kind of filled out. There you have it, y'all. That's how you tip prune these citrus trees. Well, hopefully I'll see you here soon, and I'll be getting you guys another video. And you guys have a blessed day. Take care, y'all. Good to see ya.